It looks like we have a buck, maybe a couple of little bucks out there, and a really, really, really big deer. That's an elk deer. An elk deer, as the kids call it. And that elk deer knows that it's not welcome, so it's gonna run off on down through the woods. Where's he going there? There he goes off down through. Excuse all that stuff there. It had to move around pretty quick. He moves off on down through the woods. And Red Tag and her babies say, "Thank you, Jimmy." Not sure that's Red Tag. I kind of think, I don't know though. That looks like might be 3 girls. That's a buck right there on the left. That's a buck on the right. And that's a big mama deer in the middle. So that's 2 bucks and a mama. One of those could be her little boys. I don't know. It's possible. And the big old cow elk run off on the woods a little bit. Didn't run too fast, but definitely knew that she was not welcome here this morning. They just run the deer off. That's South Fresh deer feed, not South Fresh elk feed, although the elks love it. I'm telling you, the elks do love it. It's a pretty picture right there, though. That's beautiful. Jimmy's going fishing today. Yay, Jimmy. Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. Got my buddy John Robinson coming, another friend, Bruce, and we're gonna have a ball. Got cloud cover. Might have some storms this afternoon, run us off the water, but we're gonna have fun until they get here. Hi there, babies. Hi there, babies. Oh, look at that big buck. Oh, he's wild too. All those are bucks. All those are bucks. Goodness, all of them are bucks. And they're all wild, they're all leaving too. I got a cup of coffee in my hand, can't zoom my phone. Good camera work there, Jimmy. OG&E will be happy. OG&E's a great electric company, I guarantee you that. Oklahoma Gas and Electric. They're expensive. One of these days we're gonna have nuclear fusion. We'll have inexpensive electricity to run our AI and everything else. 4 beautiful bucks right there. Very wild bucks. A couple of them, those 2 biggest ones are pretty wild. And none of those had tags in their ears, so those are all wild bucks. Look at there, they turn around coming back toward the feeder. Let me set my coffee down. Zoom in a little bit so we can look at those antlers growing. Look at that. Look at that. Antlers definitely growing there big time. Not a very old deer, doesn't look like either. Look at the size of his antlers. On back there, where's the other ones? They're right there. Pretty good size antlers sticking around that tree. Both sides, as a matter of fact. Both those deer peeking around at me. This guy right here, he's pretty good as well. He's pretty good as well. So there's 4 bucks in there. Really, really nice looking deer. Those antlers are changing every day. They're about to calm down. Not worry about me too much out here. Where did that big boy go? There's another one clear over here. It's a buck as well. That might be a doe down there. So there might be 1 doe and 4 bucks out there. There's 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. The buck's realizing how beautiful that doe is. I agree, boys. She's pretty. I agree. We're trying to run that big buck off. That's a little wad of bucks out there this morning. That bigger one is pretty skittish. I walked out here on the deck. Another one back off there. See him back through the trees there. Got pretty good size antlers. Another one over on that side. That's a doe there. Big old fat doe, still got her babies in her belly. Need to introduce your babies to the world, girl. Introduce your babies to the world, girl. And I think that's, what's that middle one there? I think that middle one's a buck too. I'm not sure, may not be, but that's a big one right there. And he's pretty skittish. It's a pretty good sized one out there as well. Actually, the does, those two does are two big old fat does, because those might be their sons, you never know. Those two big fat does there are not really wanting those bucks hanging around. Mama's ruling the roost. It's still too early for the feeders to go off. The two beautiful bucks right there, though. No doubt about that. Oh, yeah, they'll have a little fight here. Like that girl, she's the one that instigated that. She went out there and tried to run those bucks away from the feed. Of course, they have no antlers, so they fight with their feet. What's that squirrel gonna do? Go out there and attack them all? Yeah. That girl says, I'll just leave, wait till that feeder comes off, and then I'll come back. No sense fooling around with you guys this morning. And that is definitely another buck right there. I think the one that was back over on that side, I don't know where she is now. I don't see her. Back behind the tree, I guess. I think that was a big old girl. That's a nice buck there. Those antlers are pretty big around. It looks like his first antlers, so he's gonna be a good one. There's that one and that one. And the girl leaving. Girl says, I'm out of here. I'm out of here, boys. You guys do whatever you want to do. Boys will play, no matter their age. I guess the baby geese are enjoying the rainy, cool weather. And you can see we got both mamas and daddies out there. Over there on the other side, the other mamas and daddies. Kind of take a look at them there. We'll have to look through the bars. But you can see that the older geese, and they're probably not but a couple weeks older, but you can look out and see how they got their color. Isn't that amazing? Go ahead and take a closer look at them. You can see that they're just, basically they got just about all the colors of mom and daddy, except that they're smaller is all. They're not a lot smaller, but they're quite a bit smaller. And you can see they're kind of really enjoying the evening out there, eating grass, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. Now, they create a big mess, I know that. We're not going to let them hang around after they get larger and turn into real full-size geese. We won't shoot them or anything, obviously, but we will. I'll let Benelli run them off the yard when they get in the yard, or I'll walk out there and run them off. Right now, I could walk out there, I think, and they would run toward the water, because they're still, guarding them real closely. See that goose there just looking around. He's not eating at all. He's just looking. But you can see that they don't have much color. Maybe 4 of them there in that little bunch, and they're just covered in down, and that's all. They don't really have feathers yet. It's just pretty much all down. And then you look in here. Hey, look at the difference in those. Tremendous difference. Look at that. Look at that. I guess they're all one big happy family now. But that's cool. And they're gonna head toward the water, obviously. I'm gonna take a little look at them. There they go. All heading to the water. One big happy family right there. 8 and 4 and 4. 16. 4 big ones and a dozen little ones. I didn't count the other ones. I saw it all there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe 9. What's the deal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I was counting that mama there because the way she was standing in that grass, she didn't look very big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't have another at this stage of the game, I know. That's pretty nice right there, though. That's very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, he's herding them up there. Head them in the water. Look at her. She's got her neck down, hollering at them, moving them. They're herding them. Might be a deer or something walking around out there that they don't want anything to get close to those babies. What a good mom and daddy they are. There's a big, beautiful hen turkey there this morning. Look out the kitchen window, right outside the kitchen window. She looks like that she's trying to dry out from all the rain. Kind of scraggly looking, really. Where are your babies? You need to have a bunch of babies, girl. Yeah, you need to be running around with a bunch of baby chicks. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Yes, it would. Turkey season, of course, is over here in Oklahoma. Oh, Benelli just went out the dog door. Benelli will not chase turkeys. She's trained not to do that. But it did startle the turkey. She took off. See a few deer over around the feeder. As we start another wonderful day at the Eagle. God is so good. We are so blessed. We love sharing it. We sure do. Our turkey came back. Our turkey came back when the feeder went off. And she looks a lot better. Let's kind of zoom in there and see if we can keep our focus. Zoom in there, look on her. Turkey and a squirrel. Strange pair. She looks a lot better than she did a little bit earlier, where she was all fluffed up and trying to dry out all of her body. And you can see that there's a goodly bunch of deer there as well. And they're scarfing up that South Fresh deer food from Decatur, Alabama. If you're anywhere in the South and you're not using South Fresh deer food, you're absolutely using the wrong deer food. South Fresh is a great company down there. They make a lot of great horse feed, cattle feed, all kinds of stuff. They're in Decatur, Alabama. And I've been with them for years and years and years and years and years just because they're such great people. Their product's good, and they just a well-run company. That's just all there is to it. And they sell all over the South. Great, great place to buy your feed, no matter what you're feeding. South Fresh in Decatur, Alabama, right there on the banks of Wheeler Lake, Great Lake. I've won some money on Wheeler, without a doubt. Chris has won some money on Wheeler, Baskingal as well. That's a good little bunch of deer out there. You can see the antlers are growing on the little bucks. And they're really in there kind of rooting around with each other, getting all that food. Turkey, she's about got her belly full, so she's going to walk on off. But beautiful, beautiful day. We may have some rain come back this evening after dark. We had 0.6 of an inch last night. We're about an inch ahead of this time last year, and last year was a really good year for rain. So God is blessing Oklahoma, no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. Lots of great things going on in Oklahoma this week. The Thunder in the NBA Finals. We're playing either Indiana or New York. Our girls have already won one game with a walk-off 3-run home run in the last inning by Emma Parker, who hit another home run that day, got our only run, so Emma drove in all 4 runs that day. That little baby says, "You got any milk, Mama? You got any milk, Mama?" She said, "Get out of here." That's funny. That's funny. It's almost the 1st of June, and that baby still wanting a little free milk from Mama. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's not fight, girls and boys. Let's not fight. Let's not fight. Let's not fight. Oh, my goodness. We got things going on out there. She's aggressive. That old hussy is aggressive. You know, she may have some milk going there because of babies, but they all still look pretty fat to me. I don't know if we have any little babies yet out in the woods or not. I just don't know. But that's nice. I could sit and watch it and watch it and watch it. I know y'all get bored probably watching it, but I don't. I love it. Share this video with as many people as you can. Let's grow this channel. Over 125,000 people. Should be several 100,000 more than that. I think. We have no shortage of pretty this morning. And out there is pretty, in my estimation anyway. I don't know how many deer are down there. One of them down there grazing close to the water, or perhaps getting a drink this morning. I love to have deer in the yard. I could have a really pretty Bermuda grass yard out there, but I plant clover and fescue and rye in it as well. That way the deer have got kind of a food plot. That little buck is fighting the bugs down there. The bugs are bad. There's no doubt about that. People worry about flies and stuff in the pen, and we spray the pen all the time, and yet we still have flies, even though we spray all the time. We just don't have nearly as many. The deer in the wild have to fight the flies all the time, and so it's just part of their life. I'm sure they don't enjoy it, but it's just part of the life. But they sure are enjoying what they're doing right now. And the lake, look at that reflection of the mountain on the lake. That's pretty nice right there. Oh, there's another deer over there I didn't see. Two deer over there, so there's like a half a dozen out there. Those deer were back over behind those tree limbs, and I couldn't see them. As we back up, we see there's a half a dozen out there, all in the picture right now. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's very, very nice. Very, very nice. That could be a postcard, I suppose. A postcard. A lot of y'all are saying, what is that? What's a postcard? Hey, Tony, looky here, Tony. Looky here. Looky here what we got. This is for Tony Raynar that owns Sustainable Green Cream. There is a zucchini. That's a zucchini out of our garden. And a turnip. That's a pretty good sized turnip.
Out of the deer pen.
And then look at all the leaves on the turnip. Now, we're going to feed this to the deer. Now, the deer that you talk about turnip greens, there's turnip greens right there, a lot of turnip greens. A turnip and a really huge zucchini. That zucchini is like 3 foot long. No, not that long, but that's just what a guy might say. But it's over a foot long, that's for sure. It's really a big one. And that's out of the garden. We brought that down for the deer. And got our Sustainable Green Team, waterless garden in there. And things are popping. Things are popping. You know, the only problem is the weeds are popping as well. So we're fighting the weeds, and the weeds are winning. But that's all right. That's for you, Tony Raynar, owner of Sustainable Green Team, waterless garden. That's results right there, and that's some pretty positive results on that turnip. That turnip and that zucchini, those are champions right there as far as I'm concerned. Well, the babies are pretty plentiful this morning. There's several bucks out there and several does. What I want to start seeing is some skinny does, because if I see a skinny doe out there, I'll know that she's had her baby. We have not had a single baby in the pen, and last year we had the first one on May 20, so we are several days behind by a lot. There's several bucks out there, and those guys have been sparring and running around and fighting each other over the South Fresh deer food. They seem to have all calmed down and said, if we all just eat and quit messing around fighting each other, we're in good shape. You can see that nice buck there off there to the right. It's got some good antlers. Another one there just walked by him. It's got some good antlers. And I think there's about 8 deer out there right now, which is a pretty good bunch. And you see those girls pretty much still got big bellies. You see the ones that doesn't have the big giant bellies, no, they've got antlers on them. So that's a buck right there in the dead center in front of that other doe. Look how big that doe is behind him. She's tall in addition to having a big belly on her. I don't know about that deer to the left there. I can't tell, but that might be a yearling. Just not sure. I think that is a yearling. I think that might be a deer, maybe from last year. He's just not big. But look how beautiful and sleek, and their skin is just, their hair is beautiful and sleek, and just absolutely incredible looking deer. Very well pampered deer here on Twin Eagle Ranch. Look at those. That's Apache's babies right out there. They come running when they hear Apache's mule coming. Look at the antlers on that guy right there. They're starting to really bloom. There's really only a couple, 2 or 3 bucks out there, I think. I think maybe there's maybe just 2. And both of them, one of them looks like might be a second horns. They will all start growing rapidly. They are growing rapidly right now, as a matter of fact. That looks really, really nice out there. That is a pretty, pretty, pretty picture of the deer behind that tree that we can't see as well. 8 or 9 of them out there enjoying South Fresh deer food, Decatur, Alabama. Look at that buck. Isn't he a beauty?
Hi, pretty boy. Benelli, stay. Hi, pretty boy. I don't know if he thinks he's hidden. He's been standing there. I stopped. You know, he's feeding. So I'm not concerned about you, Jimmy. I'm going to go back to eating. He's eating those briars. They love briars. He's eating those briars off of that bush right there. Nice set of antlers starting there. We're going to see antlers get larger and larger here. This is the month of June. You'll see them get larger and larger just pretty much every week. We'll try to get as many of them as we can. We got a lot of bucks on the ranch. Several of them come around the house, and if we run around, I don't get to run around on the ranch near as much as I did, taking care of Chris all the time, but I get out and run around a little bit while she's taking a nap. He finally decided that he would run off. There he is. I lost him there for a while. Not very good camera work, Jimmy. That's all right. Isn't he pretty? Isn't he pretty? He is gorgeous. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. A pretty, 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 pretty boy. Okay, guys and girls, I can't think of a better way to end it. By the way, I slipped back down to the dock here for a few minutes, caught 7 fish. Not a single bass. I think I had 5 crappie and 2 bluegill. 5 crappie and 2 bluegill. So if I just get to catch fish or two every now and then, it's fun. But I can't think of a prettier or better way to end this week's video than that little buck deer that we just saw out roaming around in the wild, pretty unconcerned about me. Stood there and looked at me for a while and kind of just walked off nonchalantly. We see him a month from now, and he'll be unrecognizable by looking at his antlers for sure, because his antlers going to be about probably 4 times bigger than they are right now. So that's all happening, and that's really, really good. Hope y'all enjoyed this week. I sure enjoyed it. Y'all have a good one, and remember, I sure do love you.